Chris George, representing Google. How about the environment you operating in? How is it Italy for your perspective?
So we've got our main peering point in Italy, which is up in Via Caldera, just like everyone else. And the reason for that is in the north of Italy. It's very close and well connected. It was a big crossroads of internet for Italy, and easy to get to Europe and the US from there. We are in Rome on NaMeX exchange, and we're in NaMeX there, and we're also down in Sicily in Palermo at Sicily Hub, and we use that's a story which is not really about Italy. It happens to be in Italy, but it's really more about picking up traffic from Africa, Middle East, and places like Pakistan, for example. And so our network there is it's split across those three locations, and they have different roles in our overall ecosystem.
How do they differ?
So, as I said, Sicily Hub is more about traffic coming in from Africa and Middle East and so on. And so the point there is you've got the convergence of a lot of submarine cable systems and international traffic. People build to meet us there. We're also on D-Kicks down there, and D-Kicks down there is really not about Italy. It's about being outside of Italy. In Rome is picking up some of the traffic. We're still evaluating how we go bigger, what we do with Rome, but nonetheless we're actually serving quite a lot of traffic out of Rome. And that then after that, our major hub is we've got 3 points of presence within Via Caldera. We're quite comfortable there in the sense that we've got separate power for each of those locations. The downside is there's a single point of failure where all the fibres come together through one room on the campus. So there's a risk associated with that. But from an electrical and power risk, we're pretty good from a Google perspective. That said, I'm looking at how we actually diversify out of that instead of just being in one place, because I'm very conscious that a lot of the peers in Italy would like to see actually more diversity as well as ourselves.
Here in NaMeX, you were attending a panel which topic was how do you make an internet exchange successful? What's your answer?
Okay, so the difference between Rome and Milan, say, is one that we keep talking about quite a lot. If we were actually to honestly look at the traffic, you do actually see a lot of traffic from the south of Italy and the Rome area. And if you actually just took the metro areas, probably Rome and Milan are probably being controversial, but I think they're roughly about the same size themselves. The thing is, there's a lot more urbanisation around Milan, and therefore the whole traffic up there, the net result tends to be bigger. The cost and economics, which we didn't really cover much on the panel, by being in Milan, you're closer to Western Europe in terms of the cost and economics. If I'm honest, once you look at domestic capacity in Italy, it could be 3 or 4 times as much as it costs from going, say, from Milan to Frankfurt per unit of bandwidth. And so that's quite a big issue. And part of that problem has happened because, one, obviously Western Europe, you've got lots of highways passing through. Whereas Italy, you've essentially got the historic cables landing in the south of Italy and traffic passing up through Italy, but that tended to be with one operator. And from the perspective looking forwards, it's not on the way anywhere. And so you don't get a convergence of scale. So I think actually part of the challenge is probably if we can actually get more scale, the costs of that domestic bandwidth will come down. And from that perspective, that's one of the key factors about interconnecting. And interestingly, you've got some of the big operators in Italy who do have network. They're fragmented a little bit. Whether they want to actually encourage use of Rome as a second point, the point is they've got network. You know, other people can make use of the network. But remember, the little guys don't have use of that network. So actually the little ISPs that come into Rome, those are the ones that actually are really concerned about, because it tends to be the little guys who are the sources of innovation in Italy. So having something like NaMeX and having NaMeX grow, that's kind of an important thing to happen.
Thank you very much.
Okay, cheers.